Hello everyone, welcome back to Turn the Page Tuesdays, where we are working on the composition junk journal. Now to clarify, this is not a true junk journal because we didn't use junk. We used a paper pack and stuff like that. A true junk journal is using junk mail, junk paper, that's a true junk. Whereas this is kind of like a partial junk journal, but I had tons of requests for a composition notebook one. So that's what we're doing. But I am like raring to go on my strawberry shortcake album. I'm like, let's go. I want to get there. All right. So where did we leave off? I know we had to make a couple tabs yet because I didn't have my punch and I found my punch. I'll eventually find it. All right. I want to make a tab onto this card here. Now I just cut all my squares at like 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. Do whatever you want. I just took all my scraps. I had a bunch of like strips that were just about 2 inches, but not quite. So I used all them, and so they came out to 1 3/4. So, and all you do is just, let's see if kind of got a pattern there, but we don't have to worry about that. Fold it in half for your tabs. Like I said, you can make these as big as you want, as small as you want. And I use my scallop punch. You can use pretty much any kind of design that you want, whatever, you like, and then just punch your little corners here, and then you have a little tab, and then we're going to put this one right in the middle. I think we'll put this one. So let's get our glue, which it was just there, it fell over. I was going to say, it's just right in, I just looked at it. I really did. And then we'll do, and last week, I'm going to do most of my inking off camera because you guys seen enough inking. You don't have to take our time. Some things like this that has to be attached, maybe I'll ink because I can't get this bottom once it's on. But otherwise, most everything else, I'm just going to ink off camera to save us some time because you guys seen the inking. You guys know how to ink. So that's that. So let's get some glue on here. And then we're going to put this as close to the middle as we can get. And I put it on and then adjust it down and try to make it even. Right about there looks pretty good to me. Now that'll make that easier to pull out. I'm going to peek his little head out. I'm going to kind of leave it right there to peek his little head out. Okay, and then that one didn't need one. But there was one more that I wanted to put a tab on. Not those. Not those. I guess that was it. Oh, here, this one here. I want to get a tab on that one. Use this one. I think there's going to be a bunch of us YouTubers that are going to be coming out with strawberry shortcake around the same time. I know there's a few of them that keep talking about doing journals and stuff. So it should be fun to see all the different variations everybody puts together. Okay. That one I did towards the top because I didn't want to cover up my picture. Just makes it a little easier to pull things out. All right, so it looks like we're right up to here. I am going to put a lace on this side. And I just grabbed this one out. So we're going to put some lace there. And is what the fabric tack and stuff likes to do. It just kind of leaves that, dries that all up anyways, and then just pull it right off. Okay. Put a line. It's not coming out very good. There we go. Don't need that much, Jean. Okay. And I'm gonna stick it. So most of my pattern I wanna peek out here. We're putting lace on about every third page or so, just because I want a lot of lace in this one, because I'm not going to put lace around, like on this one that I did in Miss E's class. So I put all the lace around the front. That's scrapbooking with me, Edith, Miss E. And I signed up for another one of her classes. It's going to be in August. And of course, I'll show you the finished product. And when I can show the kit, I'll show you guys the kit. We are doing this time a hardcover one with a hidden spine. I've never done a hidden spine yet, so I'm anxious to do that. But we're doing a hardcover one. Not covered in fabric, I believe. So just a paper hardcover journal with the hidden spine. So I'm anxious to do that because, like I said, I've never done a hidden spine yet. I've seen plenty of people do the hidden spine, but I have not done one yet. So that'll be in August when we'll be doing the classes for that. I couldn't resist. I just could not resist. You know, I just love doing classes and stuff. I used to, you know, when back in the day when you had like your, what, Stamp It Up and all that. Yeah, back in the day. Don't do much of that anymore around here anyways. Let's see, put that away so I don't drop it on the ground. Next, so this page I think will be fine. That's just kind of like my writing page. Here I'm going to put a pull-out page. So basically I'm just going to, we're going to put it, I just took one of those sheets out of the book and folded it like a Z. And then I am going to glue it down here, like this page down. And I'm just going to glue here, here, and then of course here. And then we'll put a tab on it, and then we'll pull it out, and it can be used that for a big old journaling page. So which, does it matter if I want that to pull out this way? Maybe I want that to pull out this way. So let's get our glue. And like I said, we're just going to go down here and along the bottom. And back up. And then we're just going to center that along the edge. Right about like that. Okay, then we'll have a little pocket there. I don't want to play with it too much yet. Let's grab ourselves another. I've cut a whole bunch so that I know they're right here and we can put them in our tabs right away. And I'm probably not going to make too many more tags and stuff like that. You know, I'll make a few, but like the bigger ones, you know, I'll fill that in later on. Mostly, for me, I'm making this as a template book, like I have my album template book. So I want to be able to add to it later on when I see something, a new design I like or anything like that. So I'll add to it later on so I can come back and reference to this. Let's see, here in the middle. We got some things in the middle. We'll do the middle. And you guys know how to do tags too. Oops, I forgot to ink this. So we can ink part of it, but we won't be able to ink the one side. Because I was talking. Jean was talking. So yeah, so I'm anxious to take that class coming up. And she doesn't want you sharing the kit until she gets them sent out, and everybody has a chance to get it. So they had not been sent yet. Which is only fair, so that, you know, everybody gets a chance to see it before the surprise is ruined. Okay, so that's like that. Put something, let me go into this stash. This is one from, I believe, Journal Say. I'm just gonna pull kind of this whole thing out because we may go to this a few times. These are, I think, all stickers and paper stickers. No, just papers. So we have papers, and we have some acetate stickers in there. We got some little postcards. So these are all papers. Let's kind of put those there. And then these ones are all big papers, and then those look like all stickers. So then we got some bigger papers we can use, and we'll put those there. And we'll put the little ones up there. I see some little tags in there. When you get little paper tags, though, when you out of these kits like this, you want to make sure you back these and stuff because they're too thin to be playing around with. Now let's go and just kind of spread this out a little bit. And like I said, I'm not layering in this book. We will do that in like, do I have any pages in here? I brought this back so I can kind of reference as I'm talking to. I don't know if I have much, and I haven't got it totally finished yet because that's how I roll. You know, I get to a point where it's like I'm not gonna put like, yeah, I don't have a lot of layering pieces. Yeah, I got like the lace there and stuff because I don't. This one's so bulky. This one has plenty of room yet we can play around with yet. But Jean's been too busy with this one that I haven't got to work on that one too much. So let's take this off. Oh, gotta take the sticker part, not the back part. I'm getting pretty good at taking these off. I'm so impressed with myself. I don't need to use my Scotch tape anymore. One size fix. Okay, that's what it says. That up there. It is. We're in a like a 3-day heat wave right now. We're in the 90s with a heat index of 102 this afternoon. That's hot for us. So I'm in the house. I don't go outside. So we got that. And then I'll put, I may not put the big tags in anymore because I know what they're going to be. Like I said, this is going to be my reference book. And we will, as periodically, maybe I'll bring the book out again and show you guys again as I add more things to it. Because you might like to see. Let's see. This one will leave, but this one I want to do something kind of different. So we got these postcards. So what I'm going to do is we are going to, I think on this side, because this side I'll leave for our writing. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is we are just going to apply these with washi tape, and we're going to glue them together, and they will be pockets that open, like little pockets. So I'll put 2 of them on here, one up and one down. So first we need to glue 3 sides of these, and these came on that one paperback. So let me make sure that I get this the right way. So I don't have upside down. So this one's going to go like this, and this one's going to go like this. And then I'll just make sure I didn't glue that. Okay, and then let's get the thumb pull thing put in. Wrong side, Jean. Okay, how about there? Look good? I don't know why I thought I could do that in the air like this. Jean don't have enough strength. So we got that. Okay, put that one there. Well, let's glue this one together. Make sure again, it's the same way. Want to glue it. Got that crooked. Come on, go back. Okay. And you go over there. Yeah, I prefer the 70s. When it gets to the 80s and 90s, nah, Jean doesn't like that. Humidity already at 8 o'clock this morning. Whew, I stepped outside at 8 o'clock this morning. I'm like, okay, it's going to be a hot one. We get the humidity here in Wisconsin. That just like takes your breath away. It's like, can't breathe. It's so thick. Well, until we got this heat wave, it was in the 70s. It wasn't a very hot summer yet. It was in the 70s. Now I'm going to turn this so that I can kind of, because I'm going to put the washi tape here and wrap it around. So you'll see, oh, that's the wrong, can't put it on that page. Jean was not thinking that we have that thing. So let's go here instead. Sometimes, you know, Jean's brain don't work. All right. Okay. Let's see. Kind of center these. Right about there. Now we just grab. Got a little bit wider washi tape. And I'm going to show you a trick because I know that this isn't going to be the stickiest. So I'm going to take it and run it through my glue stick here. If I can hold it and run it at the same time. Okay. Just because I know. Come on. About half and half, so I'm about halfway. And then I'm going to cut my, let's use these scissors. I don't care if these ones get. Okay, let's cut that excess off right away. And then we'll put you, get one page. I just want to make sure I'm right at the edge here. Pull back my tape a little bit so I can see that I'm at the edge, and then just wrap it around. It wants to keep folding on me. It's tight, and then it'll just open. And I'll show you when we get. So same thing, take a chunk. And I'm gonna go, since this is so wide, I have to kind of run it twice so that I get both sides. So we want it to adhere. This is gonna be getting a lot of use. from flipping the page, so you want to make sure it holds. Okay. I'll pull that back so I can see where my edge is. Right. And then we have the open, and then you also have where you can put tags and stuff in, journaling cards, tags. And yes, you see the washi on that side, but it blends in really, really well. There's the washi tape. So perfect. All right, what do I have next? Let's see, what do we want to put? Okay, well, we could do the 2 tags. I do actually have the stuff to do the 2 tags for this one. I did kind of pre-plan a little bit so that this doesn't take us 20 years. All right. So I cut these down to 3 by, I believe, 6. Yep, 3 by 6. So these are going to go in here. Come on. I don't want to like force it in too much because it's probably not dry yet. Okay. And we're going to have something that's going to stick out. Okay. Just want to make sure it's not too. I'm going to cut them down. Nope, there it goes. I was going to say, I thought it was 2. Let's try this one again. I don't want to interfere with the here. This one is tighter. I might have to cut it just a little bit. I'm going to cut just a little bit off. I might have glued a little more of the edges together. And we are going to put some paper on these so we don't want... There, that's better, I think. It won't interfere. Alright, now this one has kind of like off-white lines and stuff on the side, but I'm still going to cover it because it's glossy paper. So let's move you up here. And we are just going to take, I'm just going to use this on the back. Both of them or one of them? I think just... Can I do both? No, not with that, but I could. No, I don't want to do that either. Okay, so we're just gonna do the one, and we'll take our glue stick again. Because I've got thin paper that I'm covering there, so I don't want to see all the lines and stuff. And I'm just going to lay that down. And scissors. let's take this one. Maybe should be. Do I want the flower? But then I'm going to cut all their heads off. We'll keep the horses. We'll get some flower up there. So I want this corner down there. And these are all just scrapbook or junk journal pages that I pick up from like Temu and Journal Say. I couldn't tell you now where everything came from. Because most of the stuff, a lot of the stuff I got before I started doing a channel, when I was just kind of dabbling with junk journals. Okay. Okay, then we have that. Beauty Miss. Okay, I'll have to make that one. And I need to punch. Okay. Oops, I didn't want that. I wanted my, that's okay, we'll leave that. That's funny. And I see I got this one on crooked, but that's okay, we're gonna deal with it. Oh my gosh, I punched the wrong thing. I was gonna do a ribbon, so I grabbed the wrong punch. Oh, you guys still with me? You know, Jean's losing it. I may or may not remake that later on. Probably not. Jean's just got to go with the mistakes, right? You just got to embrace your mistakes. That's what you do. Okay, so let's do, just embrace the mistakes, everybody. Oh my goodness. Put this out. Right there, right there. Goodness sakes, I cracked myself up. All right, this one down. Like I said, I'll come back and ink all these off camera. And let's see what, we have another sheet. Let's see how I want this. Maybe I want to try to get the butterfly and the flower. Get you guys back up here. It's hard when I got this book. Let's see if I can stand the book up a little bit. Okay, I want to try to get this flower and this butterfly, so I'm going to do, so I want to do this corner. That off, and I do keep all these little, because they're big enough to use, so they go into a junk one. These pieces are still big enough to use for, even for little tabs and stuff. All right, we got the butterfly and that, and now we got the ribbon punch. Whew. Jean is losing it. Okay, now, I think I have a green in here we will use, because there's a lot of green in there. So let's see. We have that one. We have that one. That's kind of olive green, although that one matches pretty good. This is lighter. I think that one. That, I found it again right away. Woo! I impress myself sometimes. Maybe cut a teeny bit off. And yes, I keep those little scraps, you never know. Those are good for like layering, so putting underneath your ephemera and stuff like that. So, you know, like sometimes you just put like, I don't really have nothing, you know, you might want a little bit showing off like that. And then you might put that down like that. So you have like, so keep those little bitty scraps, they work. Okay. Voila. Okay. And then I have this pocket that I want to use. This is the one we did on freezer paper. This is fabric on freezer paper. And then this one, I think we got to put some lace on again. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. We're pretty soon. So we don't want to put lace on this one because this one's going to have something. So we can put it on this page, I think, but we'll put it on this side. So let's put some lace before I do the pocket. Let's put that lace on right away. And then what do we got here? We'll do an off-white this one this time. So let's put, it goes pretty with the butter, the bees, I mean. So let's get this lace on, then we'll do the pocket. Then I have one more thing I think we can have time to do. Okay, I try to do different, you know, wisps sticking out so that some stick out farther than others. So this one I'm just going to barely kind of put on to the edge so that I have a lot of this one sticking out. I need some glue right in there yet. Need a dot of glue in here. How's this corner? You need a dot too? Sure you do. Okay. This way, just a little bit down. All right, now let's go back to this one. All right, this one we will put a pocket down here, down there. So all I have to do is add glue on, and I see it's coming off there a little bit, so we'll add glue there also. And then I'll add glue there on that edge, and oh, not there, Jean. That'll close it up. This side. All right, now hold these in and put it down. Tuck it in. Doesn't want to stay folded in. I love this butterfly though. All right, you're gonna be good now? Okay. And this one I'm not doing a thumb pull because the tag will be bigger than the pocket anyways. And so I have another little, this is, I'm going to cut that one down. Take off up to that about a 1/4 inch or so here. See how that is. I don't want to play with this too much. Make sure you glue it down. That should be good. I just don't want to, still wet. I don't want to play with it too much. I also want to make sure I didn't get it glued down. There we go. Which I almost did. All right, so let's cover this one. So here I have where it looks like, you know, these are pages to make like a small, you fold them and then you can make a small journal, pick card and stuff like, or small journal, I mean. So we're going to use this. So I'm going to just use, if I fold it over, I'm not going to get much of that pattern. So we're going to use one page on one side and I will use the other one on the other side. And there's still plenty of writing room here. So we're going to do that. Okay. And if you don't get glue all over yourself, you're not having fun playing enough. You need to get glue all over yourself. Okay. Scissors. We'll cut that off and then we'll do the other side. And when we're done, we can either side will be fine for the front or the back. Okay. And that one will be there. And make sure what's the front, top, and the bottom. Right. I have that. So like I said, you can do, you can put that upside down. It's okay. I did do it upside down. I still do it upside down. Now, where is my ribbon one? We are going to go ahead and punch that. Now, let's see what color we want for this one. I want to do green again. That pink, well, that doesn't match too bad. The rose color, it matches the lighter ones pretty good. So we're gonna go with that. Let me put some color in this book. Now there it is. Nope, I thought that was it. There it is. That's the fun part, finding the end, or the beginning, or whatever you call that. And put that through. Well, that one I cut almost too short, but we got enough. And I got that the wrong way. Looks better this way, but we're just gonna go with it. Is it dry enough? I'll just put it in that far for now until it finishes drying. And one more. So here we have a belly band on this one, plus we have a opening for a big card, which, you know, we're not going to make. It's just a card like we made back here. That's all we would do, is just make a plain card like it's in here somewhere. Not this, like, well, like this. That'll be fine. We make a big card like that. So we won't make the card because we've made plenty of tags. All right, that's fine. Where did we leave off? way back down here. Okay, so all we're gonna do is make like a little booklet, but without the booklet, the paper inside. We're just gonna do the fold it over. No, I think we'll fold it this way. Okay, so how big do we want this? We want to go probably 8 inches tall. So definitely want to cut that off, but I want to keep that stamp. So all I'm going to do is cut just a little bit off to get rid of that hole there. So I want to keep that stamp. And then I'll cut from the bottom 8 inches. 8 inches, right? Not 8.5. I think just 8. Yeah, 8. 8.5 would be a little bit too big. Okay. So 8 inches. And I think we can keep it the full size. So let's go ahead and fold it in half. Move this back out of our way. I'm just gonna fold it. We don't have to do no fancy scoring. Just fold it ourselves. And then it would go in like this. Put in like this. Now you can decorate it up if you want. You can go this way too if you want. You can bring it in this way if you want. Not as much how it holds in, but you can go either way with it. If you want to put that way, that might fall out. This way it hooks in a little bit more. Like that. So either way, whichever you want. And I will ink that later too. And I don't know, I may do something later, but you know, for now I'll think about it. You know, because if I decorate, this is the back side, I'd have to put it in this way. If I'm going to decorate the front at all, I'd have to put it in this way. So decorate. All right, guys, I think we'll call that. It's 40 some minutes already. Where are we? How many pages? We're actually coming along. We must be close to halfway by now. So we got that, but yeah, we're over halfway. See all the lace, so you can see the different levels there. And so we're coming along with it. So we're getting there. I'm trying to do a few extra pages. This one has a pocket. We'll do a card. All right. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed it this week and learned a few other tricks of the trade. And as always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.